Senator Fuller, you also have, I believe, an additional.
Yes, I was just going to give Senator Allen a moment to add on, but he said he'll add on a little bit or whatever.
Senator Allen, do you wish to talk on this item? My apologies. Please feel free. All right.
Okay,
Senator
next. For purposes of introduction and to adjourn in memory, I'd like to ask my guests to step to the front.
Without objection.
We have a special in memoriam for our family today, but I'd just like to spend a minute to let you know a little bit about some very, very special people. Joining me today on the floor to memorialize the life of Major Robert K. Price is his devoted wife, Katie, and his daughters, Roberta and Carol, along with the husbands, Wiley and Steve, and one of two grandchildren, Alyssa. Robert was born on March 5, 1921, in Lynn, Indiana, from his parents' farm. He lost his battle with stage 4 melanoma on January 28th with his wife of 70 years and their two daughters by Katie's side. Robert enlisted in the U.S. Army Air Force in July 18, 1942. He went on to Graduate Officer Candidate School and was commissioned as a second lieutenant aviation ordnance officer. He arrived on the island of Iwo Jima in April of 1945 as a first lieutenant and was promoted to captain by July 1945. While on Iwo Jima, he strapped a gun camera onto his Jeep and filmed activities during the occupation. The film was converted to DVD and accepted into the Library of Congress to be remembered by generations to come. Following his World War II service, he continued to serve during the Korean War and was assigned to Okinawa as a company commander. And his first home with Katie was in Okinawa. They have some really great pictures of that time. He was promoted to a major in 1953, and throughout the remainder of his career, he was stationed in Germany and Alabama, and finally Fort Bliss in Texas, where he retired in 1963 after 20 years of service. His wartime medals included the American Campaign Medal, the Asian Pacific Campaign with 2-star services, the World War II Victory Medal, and the Army of Occupation Japan Medal. Robert and his family moved to San Diego, where he worked for the City of El Cajon Public Works Department and retired after another 20 years on the job. While Mr. Price was not my constituent, I want to thank the senator from San Diego, Senator Anderson, the senator from San Diego for allowing me to do so. His daughter, Roberta, has been my dear and precious friend. We've been in education for 30 years together. We started as teachers, and we ended as superintendents, and she even came on my campaign to help me start my next career with all of you. It's a wonderful family. The years of service, getting to know Bob, hearing his stories through the years, seeing all the pictures was an amazing experience for me. He was a truly American hero. Roberta's heart and dedication and passion for life was almost certainly given to her by her parents, and it is my honor to recognize her father today, and I thank you all for joining me to honor her. And I'd like to welcome them and just say that we're all paying our respects to a man who was humble and great and one of the greatest generations, and whose stories reminded me of what an American can and should be. And so we'll be presenting you each with a memoriam, and thank you very, very much for being a military family who served a wonderful, wonderful father. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Fuller. Thank you to the family of Robert T. Price. Thank you for being here, and our condolences to you and the family. Again, our condolences and thank you for being here today. Senator Allen at Senator De Leon's desk. Senator Allen, it's my understanding you were wanting to take up SCR 34, which is item 15 on the file. Is that correct?
Right. Thank you, Madam President.
All righty. Mr. Secretary, please read. Colleagues, we're taking up file item 15, SCR 34, by Senator Allen. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 34 by Senator Allen relative to PTA Day.
Senator Allen.
So, Senators, today it's my great pleasure to present Senate Concurrent Resolution 34, which establishes Parent-Teacher Association Day and commends the PTA for its 120th anniversary. So since its inception in 1897, the PTA, as we all know, has been instrumental in spearheading programs and services that improve children's lives. It was first founded by Alice Burney, Phoebe Hearst, and Selena Butler during a not-so-distant time when women did not have the right to vote and social activism by women was discouraged. Despite the odds against their success, these women had the courage to start a nationwide campaign to better the lives of every child. And 120 years later, the PTA has stood firm in its purpose of advocating for the education, health, and well-being of all children. The organization is indeed deserving of the appreciation and recognition that we offer to them today. They're the largest volunteer child advocacy organization in our nation. They've got a network of millions of families, students, teachers, administrators, business community leaders devoted to the educational success of children and the promotion of family engagement in our schools. The membership of the PTA represents a broad variety, a broad ethnic diversity of our nation. It comes from the ranks of traditional families, single-parent households, blended families, grandparents, other caring adults who together continue to serve as the conscience of the country for our children and our youth. So PTA Day is a moment to reflect on, to take pride in the PTA's numerous accomplishments as a trusted resource for parents and a strong advocate for public education. And with that, I respectfully ask for your aye vote, and then I will introduce, after the vote, some PTA leaders that we have with us here today.
Thank you, Senator Allen. Is there any debate or discussion on this item? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Atkins. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Berryhill. Bradford. Cannella. Aye. De Leon. Dodd. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Gajoni. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hernandez. Hertzberg. Hertzberg, aye. Hernandez, aye. Hill. Hueso. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lara. Aye. Leva. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Newman. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Aye. Pan. Aye. Porcentino. Aye. Roth. Aye. Skinner. Aye. Stern. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wykowski. Aye. Wiener. Aye. Wilk. Wilk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Anderson. Aye. Bell. Berryhill. Bradford. De Leon. Hill. Aye.
Senator Allen moves a call. Senator Allen, if you'd like to proceed with your introductions.
Thank you so much, and a very special thank you to the senator from Hanford for his support. Really do appreciate his strong support for the PTA. I want to introduce today 5 esteemed members of the California State Parent-Teacher Association: Justine Fisher, Diana McDonald, Carol Green, Sherry Griffith, and Barbara Anatsugu. First of all, we've got Justine Fisher, who's the chair of our board of directors and the chief executive officer of the California State PTA. She's worked for many years serving the needs of children with learning disabilities, foster youth, and migrant families, some of our more vulnerable young people. She's been deeply involved in providing training and outreach to thousands of parents across the state to help them learn how to best engage with their local schools, such as through the local control and accountability plan process and through creating diverse and inclusive school communities. Diana McDonald served the PTA in various roles, including as a family engagement advocate, as a vice president for education, and as leadership mentor for the PTA. She recently served as a school board trustee and was a member of the California School Boards Association Delegate Assembly, something we have in common. Carol Green leads the PTA's external communications team, and she works in community and media relations for community coalitions and focused on preventing drug use amongst youth in San Diego County. And Sherry Griffith has worked in education policy for 30 years, most recently with the Association of California School Administrators, ACSA. Sherry was the executive director for the California Curriculum Commission and a representative of former State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Delane Easton, and also legislative director for the California Children's Lobby. And then finally, I want to introduce a good friend of mine from Santa Monica, Barbara Inatsugu. And Barbara's been a member of the California State PTA for 10 years, and I think before that as well. She is the president of the League of Women Voters in Santa Monica. She was a longtime public servant for the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District, and she did so when I was on the board. She did her very best to keep us in line, which she will agree was no easy task. She also was a member of our Personnel Commission, as I recall. She worked at Santa Monica College, served as a representative to the School Finance Exploration Project as well, helping to make the lives of